This very quick sequence for beginners to strengthen your core takes about as much time as brushing your teeth and making your bed. But I do think it's as important to everyday wellness. And you might think of core work as just crunches or the like, but what we're doing today is actually using the applied core muscles. So you're going to work comprehensively to strengthen really your whole body. It does make you look great, but more importantly, it's actually really important for your overall health and strength and well-being. I have Mandy and Emily with me, and we'll get started. So come lying on your back, and I'd like you to lie down with your knees bent. Take your feet as wide apart as your mat, and then let your knees just rest together like you're making a tripod with your legs. You can close your eyes. All I'm asking you to do here at the beginning is bring your attention to your breath, and without trying to do anything in your belly muscles, simply notice that when you exhale, your belly drops down. There's just a sense of heaviness, a sense of release on those exhalations. So just pay attention to that as you start to tune into your breath, as you come onto the space of your mat and let the rest of your day fall away. If only all core work with this relaxing. Now, all I'm going to ask you to do is while you're lying here, you are going to deepen and emphasize that a little bit. So again, nothing crazy. You're not trying to hammer your belly to the floor. But as you exhale, do start to deliberately press that lower belly down. Kind of think of the area between your belly button and your pubic bone. Press that part of your belly towards the floor. And notice that when you exhale and do that, there's a response in your back. Your back widens and lengthens on the floor, as though by releasing your lower belly muscles, you're actually creating more space in your back. And that's what we'll get into in terms of how this can impact you as you're just walking around in your day. So a couple more like that, making those exhalations deeper, feeling the belly push down towards the floor, like you just wanted to make a little stamp on the floor with your belly button. Conversely, as you inhale, that inhale can get nice and full and wide as well. And we'll see if we can translate all of this up onto our hands and knees. So roll over to the side and set yourself up on all fours. You want to place your wrists directly underneath your shoulders and your knees under your hips. And we'll get picky in the hands because your hands, wrists affect the alignment of your shoulders. Make sure the creases of your wrists are parallel to the front edge of your mat. Spread your fingers and press down beneath the knuckles of all of your fingers, especially the thumbs and index. And then lift up through the bones of your arms. Simple cat-cow to warm up the spine. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Yep. And then exhale, round. Now, when you exhale, press the lower belly to the spine. Inhale again, come forward. Avoid sagging in your shoulders. Let your belly stretch. Exhale, round, and really work that sense of the belly moving to the lower back. Inhale, coming through. Last one. This in and of itself can build strength. Exhale, draw the navel up like it's disappearing into the back of your body. Great. Now, come back forward as you inhale. Hold just in a neutral spine, so you're neither arching nor rounding. Notice your tendency might be to sort of let your belly, I look like I'm doing a lot here thanks to this one, but like you're really letting your belly spill forward. Lift the side waist muscles in that area between your belly button and pubic bone just enough that you feel your back is supported. It's not swaying at all. Now extend your right leg back behind you, lift the leg off the floor and flex the foot. Notice if your belly collapsed down. Lift both sides of your waist, especially the left side. And as you exhale, round your back and bring your knee and your nose in towards each other, like you're doing the cat pose, but the leg is lifted. Now inhale again, take that leg back, not too high or your back will arch. Exhale again, pull the knee in, push the floor away, squeeze the belly away from the floor. Inhale, extend that leg back, keep it lifted for support. Last time, exhale, round. Now hold here for an extra breath. Try to close the gap between your forehead and your knee and feel those belly muscles lifting up towards the ceiling. Great, now inhale, extend the leg back and place the toes on the floor. Some of you, so man, you can lower your foot for the moment, that's it. Some of you are gonna choose to stay right here, but let's all work here for the moment. With your right toes on the floor, really firm that right thigh so the leg's not lazy at all behind you. Notice if you're leaning into your left hand, Even out the weight between the right and left hands and arms. And then again, lift both sides of your waist, especially the left side, because that's the side that's going to want to droop. And we're building really even, balanced strength through our core muscles. Either keep the leg on the floor if that feels like enough, or Mandy's going to show you an optional variation. You can float that right leg up off the floor. Stay here if this feels like enough. It's a lot of work. Final option, if you'd like to extend that left arm forward, you can give that a try. The palm faces in. And those of you with your legs on the floor, you're free to do that variation with the arm as well. And notice the tendency. The lower belly drops down towards the mat. Can you lift it up? Even if you have to lower that leg a little bit, that's it. And that inner thigh of the right leg spins to the ceiling. So you're not opening the hip because that's not going to help your belly lift. That's it. Stay for 2 more breaths. It looks really easy. If you're doing it, you know that it is not. And then lower the hand down, lower the knee down. Everyone, open up your knees as wide as your ribs. Bring your big toes together. Pull back into child's pose. And just roll out your wrists here. Yeah, exactly. Just reaching your arms out in front of you. Just make little circles with your hands to release your wrists. And both Emily and Mandy are really flexible. Their hips are down by their feet. If yours are way up in the air, you're still doing a really good child's pose, as long as it doesn't bother your knees. Okay, we have a whole other side. So come back up again onto your hands and your knees. Adjust your wrists so they're right underneath your shoulders. Lift through the bones of your arms. And then extend that left leg back and let's lift it up off the floor. As you exhale, round your back and try to touch your nose and your knee together. Really push the floor away from you. Beautiful. Inhale, extend the leg just the height of your hip or else your back's going to collapse. Exhale again, round. That's it. Lift the lower belly to the spine. Inhale again, extend, keep the right side of your waist lifted. Exhale, pull the knee in, hold for an extra breath. Imagine like that you're attaching your belly button to your back body. And then inhale, reach that leg behind you. You can place the toes on the floor. Let's everyone begin there, even if you think you might go on. Ground the pinky toe as much as the big toe. That's going to help you lift that left inner thigh, which is going to help keep your back even, which is going to help your core muscles engage the way we want them to. Now, either stay here or extend that left leg up off the floor. If it lifts too high, your buttoc's going to tense and your belly's going to spill towards the floor. So just hip height. Either stay there or extend that right arm forward. And notice, when you inhale, you can extend the points between your foot and your hand. When you exhale, you can engage all those core muscles, your side waist, the muscles around your belly button, your lower abdominal muscles down around your pubic bone to create a shelf, a beautiful support for your spine. So your spine suddenly doesn't have to overwork. The muscles that are meant to keep you strong and balanced are doing the appropriate work. And then lower your hand, lower your knee. Again, open up your knees rib distance apart. Sink back into child's pose. Take a couple easy breaths, just rolling your wrists out. And last big pose here. We're going to set up for plank pose, modified or full plank. Come back up onto hands and knees. Now this time, wiggle your knees back so that they're behind your hips. That's really important to get the belly work here. Shoulders stacked directly over wrists. There, yeah, she fixed herself. And you can feel that right here to hold this position and to keep a buoyancy, which we want here. We don't want to be sinking down towards the floor. You have to work your belly a lot. You can stay here, which where Emily's going to be, or if you're ready for full plank, straighten your legs like Mandy's doing. It looks like you're in the top of a push-up. Notice that her shoulders are the same height as her hips. You don't want your butt way up in the air. You don't want your hips sinking way down to the floor. Everyone, whichever variation of plank pose that you're in, take 3 more full breaths. As much as you're working your lower belly, think about relaxing your jaw, relaxing your face. So the parts of your body that you intend to work are working. The parts that don't need to take on that effort get to relax. That's efficient use of your energy. Let's take one more here. Look a little bit out in front of your fingertips, so no droopy heads. Press back into downward facing dog. If you've got your knees on the floor, you'll curl your toes under. You can bend your knees here if you want to. We're not spending a lot of time in downward dog today. Let's take one more big breath, pulling the hips up away from the hands. And then release down into child's pose, big toes together, knees apart. One more time, just roll out those wrists. The stronger your belly gets, the less your shoulders will have to do, the easier all this becomes on your wrists. And then you can keep your arms out in front of you if that's comfortable, or sweep them around behind you, and we'll close just by taking a few more exhalations. Letting the belly gently now soften towards your lower spine. The next time you're standing in line at the post office, play with, just as you exhale, letting that lower belly gently draw back, and start to notice how out in your life your core muscles can really change your sense of strength, comfort, ease in your body.